Sports broadcasting from the Motor City as the Pistons take it to the hardwood at Little Caesars Arena. Along with Greg Anthony, Brett Berry, and our sideline reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. The Detroit Pistons come into this one following a loss, guys, to the Mavericks in Dallas. So the New York starting five, we've got Fox. JaVale McGee is out there with Vucevic. Then there's Kent Bazemore. And it's Antetokounmpo in the three spot. And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Tonight, two teams that like to score out of half-court sets. And, Brent, on that subject, we often talk about the playoffs coming down to great half-court execution. Why do you think that is?
It comes down to preparation, Kevin. You watch so much film. You have several days to prepare for a team that you saw, more than likely 3 or 4 times during the season. And then all of a sudden they're in front of you. As the series goes on, it starts to become less and less about turnovers and missed shots. There's a lot of predictability once you get into the playoffs, and it's about who can make the fewest mistakes. They're normally going to win the series.
That's a great answer. Crab, no good. Now the Knicks with it. Vucevic dishes to Antetokounmpo. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
You got to try to body Giannis up and knock him off balance because he's very consistent on the interior.
Irving kicks to Crab. Screened by Parker. On its way from Irving for 2. That shot, no good. And New York will come the other way. And the call will be against Robin Lopez. That's his first foul. Antetokounmpo with the ball. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
A little quickness from Antetokounmpo there, blows right past the D.
For the New York Knicks, they come in off the loss to Boston. The pass to Crab. Another shot. Lopez passes to Parker. The kick out to Irving. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Irving's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. McGee a screen. Antetokounmpo dishes to McGee. Oh, and here we go. Irving's got it, the fast break chance. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
This is when length becomes a massive, massive positive. What a shot block by Giannis.
And it's sent back by Lopez. Out to the right wing. Back to Barnes. The Pistons working the ball around now. Parker, a screen on Fox. And Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Barnes. 4 on the clock. For the 3. And another 3 for Detroit.
The point guard that has floor awareness has the advantage. This time it's Kyrie Irving's.
And Harrison Barnes, just a tremendous athlete at that small forward position. I think his strength enables him to guard up and hold his own against power forwards, and coaches love that versatility.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Sometimes it takes a while for all that length in Giannis to catch up to those feet, but once he does, man, he can explode.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. You know, watching Giannis and how he's able to score out there, he isn't really a consistent shooter from deep.
Well, I think what's fascinating, Kevin, is that he's dominating the game from basically around 16 feet into the rim. And with that kind of length, that's basically one step around the defender, and all of a sudden he's a threat to score or do some damage with the pass.
Fox with the steal. Here's Vucevic. And Vucevic throws it down.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
On the wing, Irving. Guarded by Fox. That one goes in. Irving's got 5 now.
Stellar concentration from Kyrie, not letting the D alter that shot. One of the toughest guys in the game to guard.
Here's McGee. And plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up. And Detroit gets called for the foul.
What a year for JaVale McGee to re-find his form and some confidence as an NBA player. Signed with the Warriors, played his way into their rotation, and after being on the verge of possibly being out of the NBA, he was a huge piece of a championship caliber team.
Parker drives in, and the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason, I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
And for McGee, a lot of it was just finding the right situation.
Well, to me, for McGee, it wasn't so much about the fit and the style of play. It was about the character around him. And I think that Steve Kerr and collectively the roster just wanted to empower JaVale McGee to go out and be effective on the floor. A tremendous comeback year for that young player.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Yep, it counts. He's got 9.
Right now he is locked in. He's getting great shots, and he's burning the D in a variety of ways.
Lopez kicks to Parker. Outside Irving. Irving double team. Shot clock at 6. And the basket for the 4th. Time from the field. He's a healthy 4 for 6.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Fox. And it's sent back by Lopez. Irving passes to Barnes. Back to Irving. And the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
Yeah, a little too physical on that play. Tries to climb over the top of him and gets whistled for it.
Big difference between aggressiveness and awareness. There's no way he's getting that rebound right there.
He got it up. Plenty of offense in this closely contested. So far, it's been a Knicks trail by 3.
And when you look at what the Pistons have done, pretty clear, this is a team that has a vision of who they want to be. Strong defensively, really good at rebounding the basketball, and I think deliberate and patient on the offensive side of the floor.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. Antetokounmpo out there with Devin Harris. Then there's Chris Bosh. And it's Vucevic. And it's Simmons in at the small forward position. To the middle. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Vucevic. And with the Pistons, this has been the identity the team has been aiming for under Stan Van Gundy. It's taken shape, but has yet, Greg, to produce big results.
I think it's because they've just always been one or two pieces short of making that next jump. I think the conference has gotten stronger, and while their best players are really good, I don't think they're quite at that elite level yet to allow this group to take that next step.
Three-pointer. Wash kicks to Vucevic. Some nice passing by New York here. Here's Antetokounmpo.
Well, Antetokounmpo does such a great job of using all he has at his disposal, which is mostly his frame in drawing contact. The amount of production that Giannis gives you in all aspects of the game is probably the most head-scratching, astounding part of his play. Points, rebounds, assists, block shots, run the floor. What else do you need, Kevin?
There's a screen by Gortat. Back to Smith. And the basket by Collison.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
I like how Giannis is inviting a little bit more contact and no longer shying away from it.
Thinking about the all-around impact of Giannis Antetokounmpo last season, he would finish in the top 20 for points, top 20 in rebounds, steals, and blocks. Brett came very close in assists as well.
I can't believe that. It would be the first time, Kevin, that any player would have done that if he had those assist numbers. I expect those numbers all to keep climbing and it becoming easier and easier. The next thing is about making the players around him better. What a talent.
Collison with it. Now guarded by Simmons. Lure can't hit. For New York, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Smith drawn the double team.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Antetokounmpo dishes to Vucevic. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. Harris, right side. Outside, Simmons. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Lets it go from the wing. Hits the front of the rim and out. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Lure the pass to Gortat. Antetokounmpo against Collison. In the corner, Gortat with it. No good from outside. The Knicks shooting indicative of smooth offensive play. Up at 60%. They're a machine from the floor. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. And Brent, 14 years in the NBA, you spent about half your time on the defensive end. Of all the guys you were matched up against, who was surprisingly difficult to cover?
It's funny, Kevin, because a lot of coaches would tell you I did not spend half of my time on the defensive end.
Well, I know better.
Surprisingly difficult to stop, I would tell you, it would be Mitch Richmond. Many years in Sacramento playing for the Kings. He was known as The Rock, and I can tell you why. Running into him and his physicality as a two-guard was very, very difficult to stop. One of the game's greatest two guards.
Sturdy, wasn't he? He was thick. He was hard to move is what I think about.
He was very thick and physical, which was something that I was certainly not. And they also ran a myriad of screens for him on every possession. The most potent offensive player they had was Mitch Richmond, and they would get him open every time. So a very difficult cover.
Down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. High post Vucevic. Another miss by Vucevic.
That's a shot you got to step up on. Wide open, no coverage. Good shooters don't miss that often.
For the finish. And Vucevic throws it down.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. And the way Irving scores, that's what you're thinking defensively. Then he beats you with the pass.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. 22 points for him. Shoots the three. Drains it from beyond the arc. And that's now 7 points for Vucevic.
Such a height mismatch out on the perimeter, and they give up the triple.
It's stolen by Vucevic. Here's Antetokounmpo. And it's sent back by Lopez.
If they play it right, we're talking a 2-for-1.
Yeah, this is where it comes down to really good clock management, and you want to maximize each of your possessions.
Pick by Vucevic. From deep three-point range. Second shot opportunity. And Antetokounmpo lays it up and in. Antetokounmpo's got the lead up to 6 now for the Knicks. For Detroit, they've gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Irving drives in. Barnes kicks to Lopez. Irving with it. Now guarded by Antetokounmpo. The kick out to Irving. Jacks up a 3. Not going to go that time. And that does it for the first half of play. Knicks lead. The Knicks leading by 6.
And in last season, the Knicks raised expectations with some of those big free agent signings and trades in the prior year. And let's face it, things just didn't work out quite how they had planned. Some would say they underachieved. Hard pill to swallow for a fan base that went into the year with so much hope.
Jabari Parker is up there with Harrison Barnes. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then there's Irving. And it's Crabbe in at the 2. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons.
Kyrie made enough room to get the shot off there. The in-between game right now, he's showing off his precise.
And a big problem for the Knicks in their shortcomings last season was their defense.
Yeah, and listen, they have some shot blocking, but as a whole, the defense lacked teeth. More than anything else, it played a part in the disappointment of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming years.
It's tipped. It's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here.
Yeah, tremendous hustle just to get a hand on that one.
Anticipation, reads the play all the way. So close to a steal.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. And the double up on Antetokounmpo. To the paint. Bosh dishes to McGee. Oh, and here comes Barnes all alone. And stolen by Irving. Nobody near Barnes. Barnes with another miss.
That's a wide open shot. Sadly, it came up short.
Antetokounmpo. Lopez with the block. Crabbe, that's for 2. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
You got to know the scouting report. As a defender, you can't let Crabbe set up for a catch and shoot. He'll bury those more often than not.
Now here's Bosh. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Just his first attempt. And the rebound goes to Lopez. Over in the corner, Barnes. Parker outside. The offensive rebound. Tries yet again. Outside Irving. Lopez, a screen on Antetokounmpo. That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Kyrie Irving. And Brent, you went up against Hornacek as a player and even defended him a couple times. What was it like playing against Hornacek, the player?
Well, I want you to ask Jeff Hornacek if I defended him, because I thought I did a good job, and sometimes the box score didn't reveal it. But what a tremendous shooter, a great off-ball mover, certainly in that system with John Stockton. And if there was any room, Kevin, that I gave Jeff Hornacek, and trust me, there was plenty of times I did that, he was knocking down jump shots. One of the most efficient players in Jazz history.
And here's Barnes for 3. New York leading by 6. And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. New York calls timeout. A second-round pick back in 2013, Alan Crabb didn't play consistent minutes, Brent, until his 3rd season in the NBA.
Yeah, he continues to work, and I think the early part of his career, he got some minutes because he really focused on the defensive end, and maybe scoring a little bit and shooting the ball well took his mindset away from that. We'll see this year if he can be more complete on both ends and still a tremendous offensive weapon.
So for the Knicks, Vucevic checked in for Bosch. Carter comes in for Simmons, and it's Kent Bazemore in for Harris. Antetokounmpo passes to McGee, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. McGee's got the lead up to 8 now for the Knicks. And there's the feed to Smith. To the wing right side. Lure the screen. Jumper off the screen. And it's finished off inside by Gortat. Gortat's got 6. Antetokounmpo kicks to Vucevic. Back to Antetokounmpo. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Antetokounmpo's got 28 points for the game.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Collison dishes to Gortat. The kick out to Collison. Passes it to Anunoby. Just 4 to shoot. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. Gortat. McGee with the block. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. The Knicks leading by 8. Pick by Vucevic. Antetokounmpo kicks to McGee. Some nice passing by New York here. Vucevic setting the pick for Antetokounmpo. Back to Vucevic. Got a piece of it. Now Collison. Lure sets the pick for Collison. The dish to Lure. It'll go, and the Knicks lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Collison.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
New York calls timeout. Chris Bosh has checked in for JaVale McGee. 55 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Bosh, the screen. From deep 3-point range. Feeds it to Bazemore. Dishes it to Bosh. A second chance effort. Gortat with the block. Collison the pass to Gortat. And it's Gortat finishing it off.
He is a big guy, and Gortat doesn't play the finesse game. This is a guy who's all about strength. Forget about laying it up there. He's going to take the power approach. And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
Well, that's a play that only works by practicing over and over and having a great rhythm with your teammate. You could see the timing there.
And have to defend better in the paint. Just let him set up way too deep.
Well, he's going to punish you down there if you're not more physical than he is, and look for them to go right back to that play.
And so it's New York with their lead standing at 6. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first three, we should be in for a treat. Pistons trailed by 6. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth. They've got Vucevic. Chris Bosh is out there with Carter. Then there's Kent Bazemore. And it's Antetokounmpo in the 1 spot. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
J.R. Smith has a quick release and can shoot it from deep, but that time a nice job off the pass.
And Antetokounmpo gets it to go.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Anunoby passes to Collison. Antetokounmpo on the double team. And Lure kicks to Gortat. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Yeah, certainly an attitude change at halftime after sort of wandering around in the first. He's kicked it into gear here for the second frame.
And Antetokounmpo gets it to go.
Yeah, it's not so much just the made shots, it's the consistency of the made shots that's got his team the lead.
So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Clearly a foul.
And the first one at the line is good. And Lure drops them both.
And one thing that you can say about this Pistons team is they are fundamentally sound, strong on the glass and closing out possessions, and they really don't make a lot of mistakes.
Now Bazemore. After the missed 3 from Vucevic. Antetokounmpo dishes to Vucevic. Back to Antetokounmpo. Clock at 6. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Antetokounmpo's got 12 points here in the second half. Great with the Pistons and their discipline as a team. Part of their great rebounding means they allow very few second chance points, one of the fewest allowed in the league last season.
And couple that with how strong they've been at taking care of the basketball. Low turnover numbers as well as points allowed off of those turnovers. And with that rebounding, I think it makes for very measured basketball.
So Detroit ends up going with the new group. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Yeah, he might not be the biggest guy out there, but he's willing to rip that rim off.
Irving passes to Crabbe. Back to Irving. Crabbe kicks to Parker. But they recover it. His 3-pointer's off the mark. The Knicks leading by 7. Antetokounmpo dishes to Vucevic. Antetokounmpo kicks to Carter. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got his 4th assist in this one. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
New York calls timeout. And one issue that has come up for the Knicks in their quest for success, Brent, is their lack of continuity.
Maybe one problem, Kevin, is that the New York Knicks organization feels just a bit too cliquey between ownership and then management, the coaching staff, and that there just hasn't been the kind of connectivity that you need in order to make things grow organically. It's been very forced in New York City, and until they find that right combination, the struggles can continue.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey guys, I had a chance to listen in on Jeff Hornacek's huddle with his players. Even though they're ahead, he said, hey, this lead isn't big enough, not by a long shot. I don't want to sit back and play this one out. I still need some aggression. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, David. Carter kicks to McGee. Over Lopez. And too long on the shot. Irving drives in. Kicks it to Craig. Pistons passing it around. Over in the corner, Barnes. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Here's Antetokounmpo. And he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant one there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He'd better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Antetokounmpo's got 42 in the game. Pass to Lopez. Tries to snap the cold streak. Out to Parker. Solid as a rock from 20 feet away.
Well, he has the green light to shoot it, Kevin. Jabari Parker looking to score in this offense.
Antetokounmpo passes to Bazemore. Carter against Irving. 5 to shoot. Lopez with the block. And it's JaVale McGee with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Pistons trailed by 11.